We are considering the classes which are 60 days, 60 classes, and if I have to be very clear about the particular time period that you are left with, then just the month left, because March is just about to end, then you are left with the month of April. So let's look forward towards the first question. The first question says the prime qualities that make accounting information useful for decision making are relevance and freedom from bias, reliability and comparability and consistency, or none of the above. What's the correct answer then? The primary qualities that makes accounting information useful: relevance, reliability and comparability and consistency, or none of the above. The primary qualities that makes accounting information useful is reliability and comparability. See, the point is what I strongly believe in terms of accounting area is now, if I ask you that is actually the amount 10,000, then what you'll do? You'll bring out the voucher and say this is actually 10,000. The person deposited 10,000 only. You have a particular point of reliability in terms of the things now. And at the same time, if I say in the previous year in the books of accounts it was written as this expense, in this year are we changing it? And you'll say no, we are not changing it. Then it is comparable as well, isn't it? Okay. Now comes the next question. The amount or things drawn from business by the owner for personal consumption what would it do? Reduce the assets and the liabilities, or reduce owner's equity as well as liabilities? Reduce both assets and the owner's equity, and increase assets and liabilities. What will happen in this case, everyone? If I talk about the reduction in terms of the amount, in terms of taking the money out of the business, it is drawings. It is considered as drawings. Drawings basically would mean if I take the cash out of the business, what will happen? If I take out the cash from the business, the things that will happen is number one, I will lose an asset because I'm losing cash withdrawn, and I'm also losing equity, everyone. In terms of equity, what is happening? In terms of equity, the withdrawn amount would be shown there, right? That is equity for us. So this withdrawn amount would be taken away from the capital. Capital minus drawings. Trading account is prepared to find out GP, NP, none of the above, or COP, that is cost of production, everyone. For what particular purpose do we find out the trading account? Number one, the trading account is a nominal account. We call it a nominal account. Why? Because this particular account finds out the debit side or the credit side of the business, right? It finds out the debit or the credit in terms of the business. Then the first thing that will be the balancing figure of trading account would be GP or GL. For the profit and loss account, it is NP or the NL, that is net profit or net loss. The correct answer is GP or GL. Next point. preliminary expenses are shown in the balance sheet as under? Preliminary expenses are shown in the balance sheet as under, as non-current asset, current assets, or the non-current liabilities, or the current liabilities, everyone. If I talk about this area, it is basically preliminary expenses are basically which we call as fictitious asset. It's not a proper asset, it is not a tangible asset, it's a fictitious asset. It just exists in the books, but overall it has already been done long back, even before the making of the business itself. So it is a fictitious asset. If we have a fictitious asset, it is not shown in the non-current or current assets at all, and even it is not a part of non-current liabilities. But this would has to be this is something which has to be eliminated from the books of accounts. So if it has to be eliminated from the books of accounts, then what will we do? That is deducted from the security premium reserve, because we will use security premium reserve to write off the preliminary expenses. Normally preliminary expenses is not written off in the year itself. It would be written off over a period of 5 years, and that too this is something that the Income Tax Act 1961 has prescribed under section 35B. Next question, as per the Companies Act, the balance sheet of the business is required to be presented in horizontal form, vertical form, either vertical or horizontal, or neither of the above. Technically, if I say the act that specifies this particular method is called the Companies Act 2013, and when we talk about the section which specifies the method in terms of showing the books of accounts is section 128. They've given two parts, part A and part B of their format, which specifies the way of working of that particular organization, and that would be a horizontal form. There are two forms. This is a vertical form. This is a vertical form. Horizontal method is used in terms of the sole proprietorship and partnership. What they create is a T-shape account. In terms of horizontal, first of all, they write all the equity and liabilities, and then they write all the assets, and all the books of accounts are prepared in this manner. So it is vertical form. Next question, which statement is true related to the hybrid or mixed system of accounting? Then in terms of revenue and assets are recorded on accrual basis, or expenses and liabilities are recorded on the cash basis, or none of the above, everyone? Okay, in terms of which statement is true related to hybrid or mix is basically the method which is used in terms of both accrual as well as the cash basis. So in terms of revenue and assets are recorded on cash basis, revenue and assets are recorded on accrual basis, and expenses and liabilities are recorded on the cash basis, or none of the above. See, in this what happens is, if I talk about the assets and revenue, till the time they are not actually in your hand, you cannot recognize it. In terms of expenses and liabilities, even if it is accrued, you will note it down. That means if you are supposed to pay to someone, you will remember. If you are supposed to receive the money, till the time you don't hold that money in your hand, you cannot record in the books of accounts. So that's the point. The answer would be that revenue and assets are recorded on the cash basis. Next question, what do you mean by accommodation bill, everyone? If I talk about the accommodation bill, it is to finance actual purchase or sale of the goods, to facilitate trade transmission, to cater the funds requirement of both the parties, or none of the above. See, under the bills of exchange, these bills are basically used to mutually help each other. See, the point is, in terms of the business, sometimes you don't have any asset to keep as a security and get loan. So what you do is you create a particular asset. This is not even an asset there. You create an asset where I issue a bill on you. That means I have a bill receivable, but I money, but I'll just prepare it in the books of accounts that you will be giving me three after 3 months you'll be giving me 3 lakh rupees. I do not, you and I, none of us is having collateral securities or good amount of money to prepare for our project, but we need money. So what we do is will sell this BR or bills of exchange to the bank there. Now the bank will give us a little less if the value of that particular bill is 3 lakh, then they will be giving us maybe 2,95,000. So this 2,95,000 would be divided among the two people who are there. That means the person who issued the bill and the person who got the bill, right? So what will they do? Both of them will share that particular money among themselves. Once they share the money among themselves, after 3 months they will club their money and give the money back to the bank. In this case, they are accommodating bills. They are basically helping each other in terms of generating funds for them. So in this case, what is happening is this is done to cater the needs of both the parties. Next question, everyone. Next question says, when we are calculating earning per share, both equity and preference shares are there. Then preference share is deducted from NP, equity is deducted from NP, or both A and B, or none of the above. Technically, when we are trying to find EPS, if both equity and preference is there, first of all, earning per share is not related to the amount that the preference share receives. It is the equity shareholder who is the ultimate scavenger of this particular business, or also this is something we can specify in terms of the working. If I say earning per share can be defined as something where we specify the books of accounts in terms of whatever amount individually an equity shareholder is getting, and we'll try to increase it further. So in this case, whatever amount they are getting should be taken. Preference share is deducted from the NP. First of all, whatever the profit is, the net profit, we will reduce it from the preference. Dividend would be reduced from the net profit, and whatever we are left is called the NP, which is available for equity shareholders. Equity shareholder, even from this amount they'll save money, and the remaining would be used for the dividend which is given to them, because everybody wants reward for their business now. That is what will happen in this case. Next question. The other name for return on proprietors funds is return on shareholders investment. It is return on net worth or return on shareholders funds, or all of the above. What's the correct answer, everyone? The other name for return on proprietors funds is return on funds is proprietors funds is whatever the businessman has invested in the business, and what is the return he's getting. First one is shareholders investments, it's the same point. Then in terms of net worth, how can we specify? Net worth can be something that is the total amount which is invested by the owners of the organization. Again, shareholders, return on shareholders funds is also the same. So all these three refers to return on investments. Then what is the format? That is net profit after tax divided by proprietor's capital multiplied by 100. Next point, the current ratio is stated as a crude ratio, because why do we specify the current ratio to be a crude ratio? It measures only quantity of current assets, it measures only the quality, both A and B, or offerings dimensions. Current ratio is, the formula for current ratio is basically CA upon CA. In terms of the ideal ratio is basically 2:1. In terms of books, it's 2:1. But in the practical world, especially in the banking sector, whenever CMAs are being provided now, then it is always 1.33:1. So the correct answer, as per the ideal ratio in terms of the books and IIBF and everything else, it is 2:1. So current ratio is the ratio where what is the proportion of CA up over the CL. So in this case, the correct answer is it measures only the quantity of current assets. It never looks at the quality. This is one of the inherent limitation of accounting itself. It is always looking at the quantity, not the quality. Okay, so this is it for the day, everyone. If you're preparing for this particular examination, have you checked out our JIB batch yet? Our last batch has already arrived. So if you're preparing for JIB, then kindly do not delay. And make sure you are also going through our YT sessions, because in each and every YT session, we are covering more and more details of the examination and more MCQs. So what you can do is you can check out our website for further details. So let me give you a brief of what exactly we are offering in terms of the JIB examination. What you need to do is you need to go on to our website. If I come to this area, that is www.247.com. That's our official website. What you need to do is you need to go down there in terms of the JIB and CIB examination. Just look forward towards the JIB 2023. See, the days are counted. It's already 30th of March. So we have got these questions. Will we be able to cover it up if I start today? I would never misguide you and say, Nani, you can cover it up. It is of no problem there. You can just proceed further. Remember, it is going to be a challenge if you're starting today. And if you are thinking about starting today, then kindly do not delay it any further. You will have to put an extra effort, considering that you are also working and at the same time you also have a family life. Plus, the closing of this year is also here. Plus, you will also be involved in the auditing period in the month of April. So technically, you are having hardly 15 more days of effective study. And that too, you will be doing that with work that you are doing. So technically, if you're looking forward to it, then kindly do not delay anymore. If you're looking forward towards a syllabus batches, it's there. There is a JIB selection batch, English medium. It has just started on March 14 there. So this particular batch was just started in 15 days back. So you haven't missed a lot. You'll be still be able to cover the batches, and the timings are as follows. That is 7 to 8 p.m. is there, 9 to 10 p.m. classes there, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. classes there, as well as 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. classes for PPB there. All these batches have started. What you need to do is you need to click on the area of buy now. You can use the code Y541 and you will be able to buy it at 3999.80 at 80% discount. This particular thing is only for the selection batch. That means you'll be covering the syllabus in this area. But if you are looking forward towards a better way of working in the business there, in the area of your studies, so what can you do? You can check out our courses in the website. Other than this, we have got another course which is basically a JIB Ka Mahapack that not only includes the syllabus, but it also includes the test series, ebooks, and even the revision batches that we are going to come up with. Technically, that means whatever we are introducing in terms of the JIB and CIB examination all together, everything will be a part of it. 1100 hours of live classes, 72 test series, 557 videos, and 130 ebooks, and what next? All the CIB elective subjects are there. You will be getting the previous batches plus the current batches that are going on in that particular subject. Whatever batch we are done with, you will be able to review that batch. And whatever the batch we are coming up, both in English medium as well as the bilingual, both of those things would be open for you. If you are looking forward towards this examination, then why not look at it with us? So you can use the code Y541, and in this case you will get a better discount. It is of 10,799